Like an example would be Toys R Us when I first found that.
Now, by nature, some of those companies might be very boring.
Companies that are boring are wonderful for me. I've done well with companies like Dunkin' Donuts. Well, companies like that, they're very easy to understand. No one's going to invent a better donut somewhere at MIT.
In this video, we delve into Lynch's philosophy, focusing on his concept of the perfect company. By understanding Lynch's principles, you will gain invaluable insights into how to identify investment opportunities with confidence. Join us as we discover the 13 key attributes of the perfect company, which will enable you to make informed decisions and achieve financial prosperity. 1. It sounds dull or, even better, ridiculous. Peter Lynch have a unique perspective on what makes a perfect investment, and it all started with the name. The perfect stock would be associated with the perfect company, one engaged in a perfectly simple business with a perfectly dull or even ridiculous name. He found beauty in boredom, believing that the more mundane a company's name sounded, the better it could potentially be as an investment. Take for example automatic data processing. While it may not sound thrilling, its simplicity made it appealing to Lynch. But even more dull-sounding were companies like Bob Evans Farms. The name alone could put you to sleep, yet it was precisely this lack of excitement that made it a great prospect in Lynch's eyes. Then there was Pep Boys, Manny, Mo, and Jack. Now, that name was downright ridiculous, reminiscent of the Three Stooges. Who would want to invest in a company with such a comical name? 2. It does something dull. Lynch believes that the perfect investment was often found in companies that did something dull, especially if they had a boring name to match. Take, for instance, Crown, Cork, and Seal. This company manufactured cans and bottle caps, hardly the stuff of glamorous headlines. You wouldn't expect to see its CEO gracing the covers of magazines like Time, but to Lynch, that was a good thing. Then there was Seven Oaks International, a company that processed grocery store coupons. It wasn't exactly riveting stuff, yet its stock quietly climbed from $4 to $33. For Lynch, a company that did boring things was almost as good as one with a boring name. But when you found a company that combined both, it was a golden opportunity. These companies tended to fly under the radar, giving savvy investors like Lynch ample time to buy shares at a discount. 3. It does something disagreeable. Lynch believes that the perfect investment wasn't just boring, it was also a bit disgusting. Safety Clean, a company that specialized in cleaning greasy auto parts. It wasn't the kind of business that made headlines or attracted glamorous attention. Yet, while most analysts and portfolio managers turned their noses up at the idea, Lynch saw opportunity. 4. It's a spin-off. Spin-offs are when a company separates a division or part of its business into a new, independent entity. This creates opportunities for investors as the newly formed company can pursue its own strategies and potentially unlock value that was previously hidden within the larger organization. Peter Lynch recognized that spin-offs often resulted in incredibly lucrative investments. He have observed that these newly independent companies, freed from the constraints of their parent companies, had the potential to thrive and grow in ways that were previously impossible. Lynch pointed to examples like Safety Clean, which spun off from Chicago Rawhide, and Toys R Us, which emerged from interstate department stores. One of the greatest spin-off success stories was the breakup of AT&T, which gave rise to the Baby Bell companies. These regional telecommunications giants, including Ameritech, Bell Atlantic, and Bell South, experienced remarkable growth and profitability once released from their parent company. 5. The institutions don't own it, and the analysts don't follow it. Lynch believes that stocks with little institutional ownership and minimal analyst coverage were often overlooked treasures. This often occurred with lesser-known sectors like banks, savings and loans, and insurance companies, where thousands of businesses competed for attention, but only a handful received it. But Lynch's enthusiasm didn't stop there. He also found promise in once popular stocks that had been abandoned by the professionals. Just as many had forsaken Chrysler and Exxon at their lowest points, Lynch saw potential for a rebound. 6. The rumors abound. It's involved with toxic waste and/or the mafia. Waste Management Incorporated, a company in this industry, was a remarkable prospect. It had two unconventional factors in its favor: involvement with toxic waste and rumors of connections to the mafia. While some investors shied away from such associations, Lynch saw opportunity where others saw risk. He understood that rumors often created undervalued opportunities, as seen in the early days of casino stocks, once feared due to alleged mafia ties but later embraced by mainstream investors when profits soared. 7. There's something depressing about it. Peter Lynch found a hidden gem, Service Corporation International, SCI. Despite the somber nature of its business, funeral services, SCI proved to be a lucrative investment opportunity. SCI, led by George Vanderheiden, embarked on a bold strategy of acquiring local funeral homes across the country, akin to Gannett's consolidation of small-town newspapers. With 461 funeral parlors, 121 cemeteries, and innovative offerings like pre-need policies, SCI became a dominant force in the funeral industry. The company's pre-need policy, akin to a layaway plan for funeral expenses, attracted customers and generated substantial cash flow. 8. It's a no-growth industry. Lynch prefers low-growth or even no-growth sectors, like funeral services, over flashy high-growth industries like electronics or computers. Lynch believes that in high-growth industries, fierce competition and rapid innovation often led to companies' downfall. In contrast, in no-growth industries, such as funeral services, competition was minimal, allowing companies like SCI to steadily grow their market share. SCI thrived in the funeral industry, where growth was a mere 1% annually. There was little need to worry about competitors or technological disruptions, providing a conducive environment for steady expansion. 9. It's got a niche. Lynch contrasts niche businesses like rock pits with industries like textiles, which lack such advantages. Warren Buffett's experience with a textile mill led him to seek out businesses with strong niches, such as newspapers like the Washington Post and local papers like the Boston Globe, which dominate their markets. Similarly, pharmaceutical companies benefit from niches through patented drugs like Tagamet, which require extensive testing and approval processes, creating barriers to entry for competitors. 10. People have to keep buying it. In Peter Lynch's perspective, investing in companies that produce essential items like drugs, soft drinks, razor blades, or cigarettes, for instance, while a toy may become popular for a brief period, it's eventually replaced by newer, trendier toys, resulting in inconsistent and unpredictable sales. 11. It's a user of technology. Peter Lynch suggests investing in companies that benefit from industry dynamics rather than those directly engaged in price wars. He highlights automatic data processing, ADP, which thrives as computers become cheaper since it can provide its services more affordably, leading to increased profits. Similarly, Lynch proposes investing in supermarkets rather than companies manufacturing automatic scanners. While scanner producers engage in price competition, supermarkets installing these scanners enjoy cost savings. 12. The insiders are buyers. Peter Lynch underscores the significance of insider buying as a strong indicator of a stock's potential success. When insiders, including corporate executives, purchase shares of their own company, it signifies confidence in its future performance. Furthermore, Lynch highlights the long-term benefits of management ownership as it aligns their interests with those of shareholders. When executives have a significant stake in the company, they prioritize shareholder value over personal gain, mitigating the risk of decisions that prioritize salary increases over business growth. Lynch advises focusing on significant purchases, especially by lower-level employees who demonstrate their confidence through substantial investments relative to their income. 13. The company is buying back shares. Peter Lynch highlights the importance of share buybacks as a rewarding strategy for investors. When a company buys back its own shares, it reduces the number of shares outstanding, which can cause earnings per share to increase and subsequently drive up the share price. This practice is especially beneficial for shareholders as it reflects the company's confidence in its future prospects. Lynch offers examples of companies such as Exxon, Crown, Cork, Seal, and Teledyne that have successfully implemented share buyback programs. For example, Exxon's buyback strategy is compared to the discovery of valuable oil reserves on the stock market, since withdrawing shares effectively increases the value of each remaining share. Additionally, Lynch contrasts the benefits of share buybacks with other strategies such as increasing dividends, developing new products, or making acquisitions.